Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Letterbox Book Club. I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Claire.
I think one week we should be like, I'm Claire, and you should be like, and I'm Mackenzie.
I've always thought about that. I've always thought of just saying it and seeing if you would play along. Loving the energy. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll do it next time. Anyway, and as always, I fucked up already.
Today we are discussing Awakened.
By
PC Cast and Christian Cast.
Yes.
We've been forgetting to add.
Forget. What number is this? Number 9?
8.
It's number something.
8. It's 8.
Oh, number 8?
Yes.
Alright. Yep.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
I know we have to get through the blurb first, but like, I want this to be over, you know? I'm done.
Mum, come pick me up.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, I'll read the blurb. My soul's been shattered and my boyfriend's been killed. Don't I deserve a break? Just a little one? Zoey is alive and stronger than ever, being cared for by her new guardian, and finally finding some peace far from the ongoing battle against Neferet. But in her brief moment of happiness, it is easy to forget that the House of Night needs her, as do her friends. In Zoey's absence, Stevie Rae has found her feelings for the Raven Mocker Rephaim are stronger than she ever could have expected, even while he still admits loyalty to their sworn enemy. Then a terrible murder threatens to destroy their group and tear their world apart, and that death will not be the last. ...
Ooh, we love an ellipses.
Ooh, I was going to say that. I love that word.
Alright, thoughts, feelings, emotions, Kenzie.
No, you go first.
Okay. Why? Are you going to say you DNF'd again?
No, I feel I would go first.
Alright, that's alright. Okay. My thoughts, feelings, emotions. Well, just quickly, I want to backtrack because I think in Tempted is when the multiple point of view things, and I couldn't really articulate why I enjoyed it, but now I have since kind of found what I wanted to say about that, which is still relevant to this book. I'm loving all these point of views as we continue moving forward because we are seeing all the characters react to certain events chronologically and like linearly. So like by the end of the book, or even a couple books down the line, we don't have the question of, oh, how does this character know about this, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And like I've just realised that like that's why I enjoy the POV so much, and I continue to do so, enjoy them in this book.
Yeah, and it kind of, as much as there is miscommunication, it does sort of erase that as a stepping stone as well, because yeah, they've got the phones and they're calling and texting each other, like letting them know what's happening all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And more so in this book as well, we're getting more like Neferet chapters as well. So the audience gets an idea of like her plans and what her intentions with like harnessing the darkness and all that stuff. And then when she then tries to manipulate everyone else as an audience, like it's frustrating. It's like, how do you not see past their bullshit, etc.
Yeah.
But we'll also get into that later. But ultimately, sorry, kids, you haven't quite finished. Ooh. Don't give me that face.
And oop.
It's like a shocked face. Ooh.
I'm just gonna keep eating my edamame.
Spoke out of turn. As I messaged you, I'm like, nothing is really happening in this book in terms of plots, like people moving around and all that type of stuff. There's a lot of plot progression through dialogue and little moments and events, but not to a grandiose scale. So I felt quite stagnant in this book in particular, more so than the others. Even though, yeah, some events and moments were kind of like exciting because it's like, it's a bit different. And actually, you know, fuck it, I'm not gonna be vague. I was pretty excited when Jack died, you know, and I was pretty excited when Linda died at the end. Like, we're hitting a death tally now. There are stakes. No one is actually safe, and I think that's one aspect of this book I'm enjoying more. I am still annoyed that like Neferet has not made any sort of power play against Zoey, and was also surprised. Actually, now that I think about it, not that surprised that Kelowna is kind of distracted from his mission towards Zoey as well, and more focusing on his own, entrapment to Neferet. But again, we'll talk about that later. So like, I'm a yay or nay with this book. What about you, Kenzie?
Well, before I so rudely interrupt you,
Don't do it again.
Start talking. No, we were talking on Messenger, and you were saying that you had a qualm with this book.
Did that message not send through?
You just said I have a qualm, so I was just wondering if you wanted to talk about it now or if you wanted to talk about it later.
Oh, it was just that. What was sent after it? Nothing?
You said I'm like 79%
Yeah.
through Awaken, will definitely finish by Potty, and I have a qualm. And then you said nothing is happening.
That's the point. That was the qualm.
Oh, is that the qualm?
That was the qualm. Nothing is happening.
I was a few drinks down at this point.
Okay.
So,
That's okay. That's okay. Because I thought you didn't react to the nothing is happening, because you would have been like ha 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 or something like that. But yeah, I thought.
Yeah, I reacted to the I have a qualm.
Yeah,
I was like, this is good, and then you're like, nothing's happening, and I was like, oh, okay.
No, yeah, the nothing really is happening part
okay.
was the qualm, and yeah, as I just stated, yeah, felt a little stagnant, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry to disappoint. I thought Messenger was fucking with our chats again, because like messages keep disappearing.
Again?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
But
so
anyway, do you have any more?
I haven't started.
Oh, sorry, I thought you did. We're off to a great start.
This is unhinged today. Let me have a little sippy of my chai.
Are you sure it's try?
Mm-mm.
To avoid a hangover, stay drunk.
Nah. I had Bilson's. Dangerous.
Ooh, did you try the vodka?
No, because I was going to take it in a flask, and then
Okay.
I couldn't find a flask.
Oh no.
And then also the host bought everyone like their favourite drinks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which is cool. So
Now I
it was
know what to
free.
get you for Christmas. Something useful. Something sneaky.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Anyway, we're getting off track. Oh, I just rubbed my eye and I'm wearing mascara.
What is going on in the house of
What
Commons?
the comments? Okay, my thoughts, feelings, and emotions are very different to yours this book, which is so fun, because I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, compared to the last, 15 House of Night books that we've discussed, because that's how many it feels like, this one finally has grabbed my attention once again.
Yay.
Is it because they had sex? Probably. Let's not get into
The teenagers, Kenzie.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, I forgot. Oh my god, I made a really funny joke last night, I'll tell you that anyway, about teenagers.
Don't be shy. Okay, go on.
Okay, let me talk about my thoughts, feelings, emotions first, and I should tell you anyway, because it's funny. I was on fire, I was getting into fights all over the place. Anyway, yeah, so I felt like finally that, the last few books have been all about like, oh, something is building, something is coming, and then like obviously with the whole other world, and then Stark kind of sort of killing, quote unquote, Kelowna, but then not like kind of taking some of his power away, like the immortality. I felt like, okay, that's cool, that it's been like the big conflict, he's gonna do what he's gonna do, but it's now it's not about, oh my god, well, Kelowna and Neferet are coming into doing a big evil. It's like, okay, well, like, we're in it now. That's what I feel like. And then in this one, I was like, yes, the stakes are here. The stakes have been planted.
Yes.
I was like, people are dying. There is glee. There is Broadway.
There's what?
There's Broadway references.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
There's borderline bestiality.
Yeah. And then, yeah, we'll get into it because it's in plot. And then also there's like a little hint of like magic.
Proper magic.
Yeah, like with a K, Magick, so you know it's special.
Yeah, magic with a K. I love it. It's always different.
It's always different. And Faye is like
Oh, yes.
Fey.
Yeah, introduction of actual like supernatural / fae.
Yeah, however they are
creatures.
just like little like described as
sprites.
like sprites.
Sprites and fairies and nymphs, those types of things.
Yeah, so this one I was finding like after it being in the mindset of I don't know if I can finish this series and DNFing the last book, I was like, yes. I didn't like, because I think there's like a little bit of the bull action happening again in
Yes.
this one.
Yes.
I was like, we get it, alright? We get it.
It's too sensual for my liking.
Yes. And then, yeah, people are dying. It's good. Oh, and there's like a little bit of like, I don't know, not so great saucy times.
No, it is very, not great.
Yeah, didn't like that. But anyway, good book.
The first lot of sexy time, sure, but like,
Yeah.
after that, not really.
Yeah, I'm hooked back in. And after, because I DNF'd the last one, after getting over the shock of the kilts and the Scottish shit, and I was like, where are they?
That's your own fault.
We Gucci.
Also, we finally get like a proper name of like, because they referenced the island Sky,
Yeah.
and like they didn't really do that much. It was referenced, but it wasn't how it was formally kind of identified in the last book. So now we have a comfortable name for the comfortable island. Although I still don't know how to pronounce the Queen's name. I'm just going to call her Queen Sky, just for the duration of this, or for as long as she's relevant. She's Queen Sky.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. I do agree. Like, it was interesting with like the old sorts of magic and all that kind of stuff being reinvigorated into this world.
The only qualm I have with that is that this is book 8.
Right. Yeah, and if you think they would know about other magical sprites and beings from history.
Why are you trying to continue introducing new things all the time?
Yeah,
Is it because you know I'm bored? I don't know. Maybe.
This is how they entrapped the rest of the audience by introducing these new things to grab your attention again. But no, that's great.
I don't get it, but okay.
I'm a little lost, but fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a TikTok. I know this is not relevant to the book at all, but I saw a TikTok the other day about this chick having a rant about people who make TikTok their personality and quote TikTok all the time, and they're saying that it's like unoriginal and like it's not like flattering or anything, and it's like, oh, I do it all the time. Yeah, I do it as like a joke in the moment that's relevant to like that joke.
Yeah, I like doing it around new people. It makes me determine if they're cool or not.
But then they might think you're weird though, so...
That's alright, I'm TikTok famous.
Your Siri cosplay. Thirst trap.
No, our 11.1k views.
Oh, yes.
Shameless plug.
It was at a plateau, and then it went up for 100.
I know.
I was happy with that. Anyway, sorry.
It's just me on loop.
we're a bit selfish today. That's fine. We don't care. This is our podcast. We can talk about whatever the fuck we want. Kicking off into the story, I gotta say this before like I forget to say it. I just quickly want to say that I was very impressed with Zoe's selfishness in wanting to kind of stay on the island of Skye. I'm like, this chick, out of everybody, deserves a fucking break. People are dying. She is like grieving. She is fighting, for her soul in the overworld, and if anyone deserved like a 2-week vacation, it's her.
Yeah, she's died like 7 times.
And Stark's died like 100 times, and like...
Yeah. And also Stevie Rae, but...
Yeah, Stevie Rae's getting there. She almost dies again in this book, almost. Or she was very weak and vulnerable. But yeah, out of everybody, Zoe definitely would have deserved an extra 2-week vacation, but we know that gets ruined. Thanks, Jack. You just had to go and die.
You just had to go and be murdered.
Yeah. But yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. And then everyone was pissy at her for it, almost. Well, not really pissy, but they kind of understood. And they would have let her stay, obviously, until Jack died. And then that's when everyone needed to band together again. But surely, like, Stevie Rae could have sorted it, like, the pyre out and everything, right?
Yeah, but I think that she had, like, a moral obligation.
Yeah, as the High Priestess. I understand that. Yeah, for sure. Alrighty. Kicking on in the beginning of the book. We start with Neferet's point of view, which is surprising, because I don't think we've had her proper point of view yet.
No.
Or maybe we have once, but I don't quite remember. And it's just really about her. It really encapsulates her control over the Sons of Erebus, and she's gaining a lot of just her control over them and how they react to her. And how, like, paranoid she is as well, in a way, because there is a moment where there's one Son of Erebus warrior that, like, bowed not as shallow as she would have liked, and she's like, oh, he's gonna be off this patrol or whatever. So, like, Neferet is losing her mind to the darkness, which is, it's what she wanted, that's her intention. And then there's just, I don't know, a lot of, like, sensuality she has towards the Son of Erebus warriors, because she can, like, have whoever she wants, although nothing compares to Kelowna in terms of, obviously, sexual pleasure, because he's the immortal. And, I don't know, just a lot of those types of vibes from her chapters.
Yeah. I still don't get, like, if Kelowna was this almighty, powerful thing.
Yes.
How she was able to just be like, do this for me. And he's like, okay, sexy lady.
I think it's just, I think it's more just the, she unlocked him, and that, like, is a huge favour.
Yeah.
Despite it was him whispering, or was it like the darkness? Now that we're learning about these, manifestations of these bulls and their representations of light and darkness. Was it darkness that
I think it was
whispering to
like
her?
darkness, but it was manifesting through him.
Right, because darkness also needs him to be released. Okay, cool. But yeah, just as like a favor almost, like you released me, I will humor your endeavors.
Yeah.
And then she just obviously ultimately trapped him, which he's an idiot for, but oh well.
Yeah.
And yeah, this book in particular, I think because Kelowna is worried about, you know, his oath, new oath to Neferet and how he worded it. And, you know, he seems to be bound immortally to her. And he's lost sight of, like, his desire to reconvince Zoey that she's, like, Aya and that she...
And that they belong together.
Yeah, like, but I suppose it goes to show Kelowna is just after number one, and it's himself, or looks after number one. So we get to see a more selfish side to it. And then what else happens earlier on? I think Stevie Rae has a chapter. I think it's really just, like, her and Rephaim, or Rephaim.
Rephaim.
Yeah, we're back on the Isle of Skye, and Aphrodite and co are planning on heading back. Although it seems like Damien and the twins and all that are already back at the House of Night.
Yeah, I think they went back first.
Or maybe they never... Did they?
No, they didn't go to
the island.
Europe.
No, they were in Europe. Did they go to the
Europe?
island? I've already forgotten.
Not.
I don't remember, but they're not there. And, yeah, it's all about Zoey. She's wanting to, like, stay for a little while, but she doesn't want to disappoint anybody by not going back with them.
Yeah.
And then this is where
like, it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Do what you want, which is fair enough. Or the excuse is that Stark needs to get better, because, I mean, like, yeah, he died in the overworld, which is pretty harsh. And yeah, and then this is where we get, like, the kind of bit of a plot bump where it's, like, Jack's calling because they want a celebration circle because, you know, Zoe's soul is back together. They've completed kind of that mission. Deserves a bit of celebration. Fair enough. And then, obviously, Zoey tells Stark to tell him that, like, he needs to rest, blah, blah, blah. Why are you why are you scared to tell your friends no? Or because Jack's gonna cry?
Yeah, Jack will cry again.
It's alright, he's a big boy. He develops
character. Did you think, because... Like, Jack's been very much, like, a side character.
Yes.
And then in this one, like, he kind of got a bit more, like, a prominent role. And I was like, he's dead.
Yep. Like, as soon as there was a Jack chapter, I'm like,
and
you're
as
gone,
soon
son.
as he was the one who's like, we should do this, this, and this. I was just like, oh, okay.
Oh, not necessarily that, but... Because I think that's quite in character, because they haven't had a ritual for a while, and, like, I'm
But he's
rituals.
never been, like, the leading, like...
Sure. No.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. No, but no, once it got to his chapter, and once it got... we'll talk about this now for the moment.
Okay.
Once it got to that chapter, and it got to... I think Duchess the dog was described as being a bit more clingier than normal.
Yeah.
And then when Damien came in and they all had their, like... we welcomed by Kenzie's son, James, if you hear him. And then we got Damien and Jack having, like, a nice, deep conversation about loving forever and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then Damien convinced Jack to let Duchess go on a jog with him. And as soon as they left that vicinity, I knew something was up. And for those who following along at home, the celebration was to be happening at, like, the East Wall, where every single bad shit that's ever occurred in the school.
The very special tree, the secret way to get out of the school.
The wall.
Where Kelowna broke through.
Yeah, like, that's where they're going to have their celebration. So add another, like, notch to that corner's belt with Jack's death. But, yeah, I don't know, I was getting annoyed with, like, I liked the fact that it was, like, defying gravity, like...
Oh, we're going to straight up talk about his death?
Let's just do it, why not?
Okay.
Get it out of the way.
I think I spoke about, in the last episode as well, oh my god, my voice has gone funny, how that when they were talking about... we were talking about it, they found Kelowna and Neferet because of Twitter.
Yeah.
So I think, like, stuff like that really takes me out of it when it's a fantasy series, and I understand that it's set in a modern world, but when it's, like, Twitter or, like, Facebook or what have I just read, it starts with us, they talk about TikTok.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it's like, I understand that this is in our world, but that just really takes me out of it. But anyway, so he was talking about, like, Glee.
Yeah, singing a song for the ritual. Yeah,
singing a song for the ritual, and he wanted to do the, Glee version of Defying Gravity.
Yes.
And so, he was singing it, and that's what was happening when he died.
Yeah, and then as he was, like, preparing and decorating, within the tree, of course, the evil fucking tree. I thought it was going to be a projection of Neferet because I didn't think she made it back to the House of Night that quickly, but I think it was her actual physical being.
Yeah, it was.
So she was there, and she starts talking to him. She's trying to, like, switch him over to the dark side, and for intentions that at the time we did not know, he was going to be a sacrifice to the darkness because of being an untainted, pure soul or whatever.
Yeah,
the darkness the darkness relishes in that sort of sacrifice.
I also think, the innocent is also like, he's a virgin.
Probably, yeah. Or virgin blood.
Yeah.
Never used.
Yeah.
So yeah, Neferet's trying to switch him over. Jack is headstrong. He's like, no, fuck off. He's actually much nicer than that. he was like, please leave. And then Neferet's like, no, and all her darkness tendrils of power held him up in the tree until like 12. And he had a claymore or a dagger or a sword of sorts. I forget.
A sword, yeah.
From dragon, because he was gonna make origami or something out of it, so he needed it as a reference, which is very obscure, item to have on you. And so, and with the dark power, the sword was held like upright, and so eventually Jack was released and fell onto the sword.
Yeah, and it was made to look like an accident.
Yes, but like, how does that look like an accident though? And then he is found later on. So yeah, it was pretty dramatically wicked death, but like I liked it.
Yeah.
Is this the first of the bury your gays trope?
Yes. I felt like it was quite a violent death as well, compared to other ones.
Especially for someone like Jack who has done fuck all in this series.
I mean, like, I understand, like, Kelowna snapping Heath's neck is pretty violent. But I mean, that's a quick death.
Yeah, for sure.
This was just, you've been impaled.
Yeah, super. I guess it probably just shows the difference between Kelowna and Neferet. Because Kelowna, being a warrior, he knows all the different types of, I guess, ways to die, ways to kill a person. Neferet's just all about the torture and just relishes in those types of pain. Because she's been a healer for the House of Night before and all that. So like, it's probably a masochist thing for her to do as well. Masochist, that's a big word for Elmo. I know you already kind of spoiled it for me, like, earlier on now.
Yeah, sorry.
Which is fine. Like, again, I don't really care about Jack, I'm sorry. But now, is this just a plot device for Damien to inevitably rise up in future books?
Yes, but also because someone else from this frat pack dies.
Yes!
Eventually.
Yes! Bring it on!
I don't, again, because it is the bury your gays, I don't understand why they had to introduce Jack just to kill him off, just for Damien to step up, when they are going to kill another one of his very close friends anyway. And then that could have been the motivational get-going situation. Like, it didn't have to be a whole separate thing. Yeah,
for sure. Okay, steering away from that, again, talking a little out of order, like, we don't care anymore. I think, because Stevie Rae is doing stuff at the House of Night. I forget what her initial chapters are about. I think she's annoyed at Rephaim because he's like flown off, and I think she's holding down the fort at the House of Night.
Yeah, because he left at the end of the last book.
Yes, because he's in despair. It's giving agony from Into the Woods. That angst.
Agony.
Yes. And so I think she's trying to hold down the fort at school.
She's not doing a lot.
No,
because
she's not.
Rephaim comes back.
Oh, it's Kramisha harassing Stevie Rae about the fucking poems, because Kramisha won't leave well enough alone. Because Kramisha...
I really don't like her attitude.
Kramisha's? Or Stevie Rae's?
Kramisha.
Yeah, because she's like, tell me, and Stevie Rae's like, no, and she's like, fuck you, tell me, and Stevie Rae's like, no. And it's just back and forth. And it's like, here's a poem, it's obviously about you and something, so, but at least she knows Stevie Rae's hiding something. But I really hate the stubbornness from both of them, and their back and forth, like, banter is just, tell me what's going on, no.
Yeah.
So I think, and there's a couple more poems now for Stevie Rae, and it is, of course, in reference to her and Rephaim, which gives us like a whole like love hope thing between them, because I think they're the best written like love story in this whole series so far. Like, I enjoy watching them interact with each or reading of them interact with each other. It seems
Yeah.
so much more genuine.
Are we just going out of order?
Why not? Sorry, guys.
Okay, that's okay. So there's a fight at the end,
Yes.
sort of.
Standoff.
Standoff, yep. And Dragon goes to kill Rephaim, and then lo and behold, our favourite goddess Nyx shows up.
Of course, yes.
Because really, like, no stakes. And at the end of the day, if you really need help, she's gonna be there.
No one can handle their own shit.
Yeah.
It's funny. That's
and
also
of course,
funny. Sorry, I was just gonna say, like, it's ironic because in the first couple of books, you know, before we know Neferet was like fully evil, she's all like, fledglings and vampires have to solve their issues on their own without like intervention. So like, but we have divine intervention. Sorry, go on.
all good. And of course, again, we need to cast a circle to save Rephaim because circles save everyone, and circles are all magical. And then Nyx appears and is like, all right, I can see Rephaim's like chosen light. I'm gonna help you out a little bit. You are a Raven Mocker by day, but a human by night. And you're like, wow, that's like a good deal. Also, that's kind of shitty. But then, you know what I remembered? They all fucking sleep during the day.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Really, yeah, so it doesn't matter. Just have a nap.
Yeah, just have a nap. A bird nap.
Yeah, go eat some worms.
But the greater lesson in that, I think Nyx explained, is like he has to learn to control, like, I suppose, the evilness and the beast, because like, and all that, it's just like that whole metaphor of balance and being able to control both. Although, so is he, my question, actually, it kind of got answered at the end as well, because I think someone made a joke, is Stevie Rae going to put him in a cage? So he must be like just a full-size normal raven.
Just full raven,
not like a human-sized raven.
Yeah, not a Raven Mocker.
No. A raven birdie. But yeah, and he is a given Kelowna's past, Rephaim's heritage is of a Cherokee warrior. Well, not really a warrior, but it was described him being a warrior.
And because that was the image of him
in the
that
fountain.
Nyx gave them in the fountain.
Yeah. See, love wins.
Yeah.
Love wins. Yeah, that was lovely. But yeah, the whole like you have to be a bird by day thing, I was like, I'm sure there are better sort of consequences than that. But anyway. But I suppose once he learns. If he learns, you know, that balance, she can easily just, like, make him human forever, normal. Back to almost the beginning of the book, I guess. Again, back kind of with Zoey and Stark again for a moment. They have sexy time for the first time together, which is fun for them, I guess.
Tree? Well, under a tree.
Under a tree. How romantic.
But it's also all about, it's like, yeah, we're doing this so that, like, we're connected, like, our souls are connected now on, like, a different level. And it's like, 1, he died in your arms. 2, he's given you his warrior's oath. 3, he's died again for you. Like, 4, you've admitted you love each other. I don't really think sex is the defining factor of your souls being connected. I'm into it, but I don't think it needed to be made as big of a deal. However, because I think they're teenagers, sex is a big deal.
For sure. I agree with that. With that, Zoey also spends a lot of time with, like, the Queen. They're having very interesting conversations. More so before Zoey learns of Jack's news, they're discussing, the old magic with the K, and the Fae creatures, and how Zoey's control of the elements is a little bit more different here because it reveals the elements to being actual physical sprites, and that's fun. And they're talking to Queen Sky about how she's kind of changing her mind, because Zoey is that person that's capable of like making change inadvertently.
And I think she's kind of just been like neutral in all of this. She's like, I've got my island, I'm safe, nothing can penetrate me.
For sure. And then she sees, you know, or hears of what Zoe's doing for the people that she loves, and the people that she loves, what they're willing to sacrifice in order to help her succeed. So then, they're still talking, and she comes up with, she wants to perhaps open up the island again as a separate House of Night, in order to probably retrain warriors as well, and just like teach them old ways again, old magics and all that type of stuff. Because though they are cut off kind of seemingly from the whole world, they do have like technological accesses like internet, phones, all that stuff. Like they know what's going on, but they've restricted access to the normal person.
Yeah, they've chosen to remain very traditional in their ways.
For sure, but now, yeah, with what Zoey has managed to accomplish, she is taking that as almost like a sign to open the island up again, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, now that I think about it real quick, I have a qualm.
Ooh,
Every time, it's stupid though, every time Stark has to talk like a Scottish accent person, like it annoys me. And you know how it's a different text, like it's spelled differently.
Yeah.
Even when I think it's Soras.
Yeah, wee a lassie.
Yeah, your woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I cringe every time. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Get over it. You learned your Scottish for one day, and you make it your whole personality. Relax. Relax, bro. Oh, I remember what's happening at the House of Night now. There's a meeting with all the teachers, and Neferet's there after killing Jack, and Stevie Rae and all that are there, or at least her being a Red High Priestess, and Cremisha being the prophet. Yeah, and Aphrodite must be there as well. I think everyone must be there. There's very limited stock of teachers and students, it seems. So yeah, Neferet's trying to
turn everyone against Zoey.
Yeah, and play on Dragon's grief about this Raven Mocker, because they're still going on about how there's one loose in Tulsa. Yeah. Tulsa, and then Stevie Rae's kind of being questioned about it because she's being extra defensive. We know why. Yeah. They don't know why.
We know why. Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like, it's weird how Neferet manages to manipulate everybody.
I know, still, after everything.
Like, because they see her unlock Kelowna. That's bad. I guess it's the cry of, I was enthralled with him like the rest of you.
I know, but after everything, it's like, she went to, well, I can spit it out. She went to Europe with Kelowna, and then there was all that stuff, like, surely it would have come out that, like, Kelowna killed Heath, and that Neferet, like, escaped with him, or whatever, like, left. And then when she comes back, like, are they not, like...
sus?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's always kind of annoyed me. She's always managed to play a victim, and it's like, has she not shown her true colours enough?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I don't get.
And then every time, she tries to turn them against Zoey, like, Zoey's evil, Zoey's doing this, blah, 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 and then Zoey comes in and saves the day. Yeah, it's like, make it make sense. Yeah. It's like, 2 + 2 is not 5, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I suppose Professor Langford... Oh, why did I say him so formally? Dragon, for sure. Because he's, like, grieving and, like, he's a little bit kind of messed up. You know, he just wants to kind of grieve and, like, get on with life. Yeah. But, like, every other teacher, it's like, you don't see that Zoe's the one that's been helping. I suppose it all aligns because, like, all of this happened because Zoey became a fledgling. Zoey has all these powers. Like, once Zoey happened, then...
It's easy to pin all this blame on someone who is as special as Zoey. Yeah. And the fact that they've all been working with Neferet for, like, I'm going to say centuries and decades. Like... Yeah. So, she has that pull of word against her. But, I don't know. Yeah, it's just so frustrating.
As a teacher, because this all happened, when Zoey became a fledgling or whatever... Like, I would still be like, okay, well, obviously this means something about Zoey. I'm going to support her. Yeah. Because even if they think she's evil, it's like, I'm going to support her and try and keep her on the right path.
For sure. And I've just had this thought, because Neferet has been claiming to be Nyx reincarnate and all that type of stuff. Yeah. Nyx made herself appear above everybody. Yeah. Is that not the big red fucking flag that Neferet is a liar? And that she can't be trusted?
Yeah, also, can't Nyx be like, yo, Neferet's lying.
That's the thing. That is like, Nyx, you were in front of everybody. You can say, that pisses me off. I don't understand. Yeah. Is it just to drag it out that little bit longer?
I think so, but surely. And then because also it's like, well, you have to figure these things out for yourself.
It's like, no, she's impersonating you.
It's also like, look at what's happening
in your name.
Yeah, in your name, at the people who are supposed to be devoted to you.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? But I suppose in terms of the line of destiny and, like, paths, like, this is how it's meant to go. Yeah. Until the destiny is fulfilled. So, unfortunately, we're gonna have to put up with this crap for a bit longer. But, like, at the end of the day, is it good writing? Is it just inconsistent? Like, what?
It's frustrating.
I call this an intrusive thought, even though it's not intrusive at all, but hang on a second. I just thought today, what if we're wrong? What if the whole build-up and everything of this book series has been absolutely perfect and we're just shitting on it for no reason?
Yeah.
What if this is like the perfect book series and we're just like ripping it to shreds?
We're just like, this is
Don't
shit.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Nick's appearing before everybody, but yeah, like, if you were reincarnate, you wouldn't, like, then the goddess herself wouldn't able to just project like that, right? Is that how this works?
Yeah, surely, because if you're, reincarnate, then you don't need to have a astral projection moment.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, moving on. Kelowna, we have a Kelowna chapter, or unless it's more of a Rephaim chapter, and he is, telling us more of Kelowna's story through his point of view. Kelowna's like motivation in this book is that he is trying to unbind his oath from Neferet, which is, in the end, it was a bit of a stupid cop-out because it wasn't worded, so succinctly, so he was never truly bound to her. Yeah. But anyway, that's his motivation to try and, because having someone could have control over your immortal soul sounds absolutely terrifying. Although, even though he deserves it.
Why let yourself get into that situation?
Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, she was holding his body hostage when his soul was shattered, so not much wiggle room.
Find another body.
Find another body. I mean, that's a fair point.
If they're saying they're Erebus and Neferet reincarnate
someone else.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Kelowna, due to not fulfilling his like oath to Neferet and keeping Zoey in the otherworld, not overworld, Neferet made the like public announcement that like he's in the name of killing Heath, like she has lashed him and has banished him from her side for a century.
Yeah, and it's like, also, like, he still killed an innocent human, so...
Yeah, like, life for a life, I say. I'm all for the death penalty. What? But he is obviously lurking around her close by, and Rephaim and him reunite, which is fun. Yeah. We love a family reunion. Although Rephaim is in two minds, of course, because of his feelings, and he's, like, leaning towards the side of light, and his love for Stevie Rae, and so he's kind of being a double agent as well, because Rephaim and Stevie Rae meet up as well at some point, have a bit of a talk, everything's all good and dandy there, and then it's pretty much Zoey comes back to the House of Night, and how weird is it that, like, we know Neferet is playing along and, playing up nice and all that type of stuff, but, like, we're back to the first, like, 5 books again, like, just the dance around each other, like, no one's making a move against each other, although they kind of can't.
But then also, like, Neferet makes this apology, and then Zoe's like, knows that it's fake, but she plays along with it for everyone else's sake. But it's like, just call her out at this point, because Neferet has such an explosive personality that if you were to be like, well, actually, no, I don't accept your apology because of blah, 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 then surely she would blow up and prove to everyone.
Nah, I suppose she's been really good with holding her temperament, I guess. And, like, Stevie Rae has been standing up to her a lot in this book, and everyone's just like, you're a liar. So it's really hard, in that sense, to be believed. And I guess, at the end of the day, like, no one, like, Zoey hasn't actually attacked Neferet in broad daylight, or in front of everybody that matters. And then, but the same can be said for Neferet, like, she hasn't really outwardly attacked Zoey, she's attacked everybody else, but... And of course, Zoey and Stevie Rae and Aphrodite and everyone knows that, like, Neferet had a role to play in Jack's death.
Yeah. I know, it's like, surely you have enough that you can go, like, back to the Vampire Council or whatever and say, hey, she killed a fledgling.
Yeah, but they'd be like, where's the proof?
Yeah. I wish that there was some sort of, like...
social media.
Serum. Yeah, truth, or, like, a vampire, like, had the ability to, like, tell when someone was lying or something, like...
Yeah.
If Neferet can, like... The older vampires, can kind of get in on what they're thinking. Then surely someone can know if they're lying. And,
like, that's the thing, too. With someone like Lenobia, I think she had a couple of, like, moments of dialogue in this book, but she seemed like she's not thrilled with Neferet's return, or she doesn't seem to buy her bullshit. And I'm scared that that's going to put her in danger. But, like, doesn't she read Neferet's mind? Or is her mind just blocked with darkness? Like an impenetrable psychic wall or something?
And then, the whole thing in the earlier books of, like, Zoey befriending Aphrodite because she was the only one that, like, the adult vamps couldn't read her mind or whatever.
It was just Neferet, I think.
Oh, just Neferet. Because she's like, I couldn't tell you guys anything. Then, yeah.
And now it seems that I guess Neferet knows regardless that like the group is against her, so like she doesn't really need to try and figure it out. Poor Damien though, like he spends a lot of time just like grieving and crying a lot in this book, which is fair.
Yeah.
The poor boy. So yeah, they're treating Jack's funeral as if he was a changed vampire, which is a cool new little tradition we get to see and custom we get to witness.
Yeah, with the pyre.
And everything, and Zoey is doing her thing, casting a circle, and then Neferet comes in. She's trying to like perform that she's that she was lost from Nyx, but she's come back, you know, to the light, whatever. And like it's this whole thing, like she's naked and like bowing in front of Zoey.
And again, like as much as I enjoy this book, again we're doing this song and dance of Neferet pretending to be something and Zoey knowing the truth.
And we know what Neferet is planning because in her chapters she tells us. So it's frustrating as a reader. But there's too many times Neferet is naked in this book. It's like 4 times. Yeah.
And like, I'm all for not caring about nudity, but again, you are an adult and these are teenagers.
But I suppose it's about the vulnerability and the respect of that in terms of this type of custom. Like you're bearing all to your goddess and your high priestess or whatever. Yeah. But and then obviously Zoe's like, I forgive you, but it's up to Nyx ultimately. And then Nyx pretty much says it again when she, you know, appears before everybody, but it's like a gift has to be earned. Yeah. But like, Nyx, you are there. Tell everyone that Neferet needs to fucking go. I don't get it. There's also a scene at some point with Neferet and I think it's more towards the end of the book. Honestly, not much really does happen in this book. I think we're going through it quite well. Yeah. So towards the end of the book, Neferet is talking about darkness, more to herself about darkness, and then as she's, you know, like in a monologuing herself. Oh yeah, because after the fight, Kelowna disappears. And anyway, she's just musing to herself, and the white bull of darkness, you know, appears to her. And this is a very weird event and like very sensual and gross. Also, the word pleasure was used too much in this book, both in like the sexual manner and in the like it will pleasure you to like as a reward, or it will, I don't know, satisfy you or whatever. Yeah. It's like get a synonym or something for pleasurable or pleasure. It's fine. But so darkness or the bull and Neferet have like a conversation, and they're talking because the bull is realizing how like wickedly devoted Neferet is to the darkness and is quite impressed, and even more impressed that you know, she managed to kill Jack as well, because that was another payment, so she's asking for favors. I think for something else, I forget what she's really, it doesn't, I forget just what she's asking for of the bull. Maybe a small power, or it's, oh no, it was to form a vessel. The bull is giving her a gift, which is going to be a vessel. She gets aurochs. Yeah, aurochs or something like that. Yeah. A vessel that's in the form of a man that's like powerful.
Yeah, to make sacrifices, to do the unaliving.
Yes, and in order for the gift to be given, she has to sacrifice somebody, and it has to be like an old person who is like, whose blood is deep with like of the earth type of thing, very spiritual. Whatever. We all knew who he was talking about. Good old Grandma Redbird is on Neferet's hit list.
But once again, she evades death because no one coming for Grandma.
No, Grandma is staying alive.
Yes. However.
Yeah. You may continue. I feel like I'm talking too much.
Okay. So she intends to kill Grandma Sylvia, but ends up killing Linda, who is Zoe's mother, who has left Mr. John Heifer because he's cheating on her.
Bent somebody over a desk at church. What a way to go.
You know, it's always the church people. It is always the church people. So that happens. I'm not quite sure on the intricacies of it because I read this a very long time ago, but I know that she dies.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, while this is happening, Heath's still in the other world.
Yeah, he gets a chapter, which is weird, of him just chilling in...
Yeah, after all that, grove. You've got to let Zoe go, you've got to move on and find peace, blah, blah, blah. Suddenly it's like, well, actually, got something else for you.
Also, I have a question now.
Yes.
I don't know how to put it though. This is where my articulation deceives me. So Nyx's realm, because we learn, Heath ends up there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of his connection to Zoey, would we say?
Yeah, probably.
And this, would you say the same is said for Linda?
Yeah.
So then is, because of the different religions that are perceived in this book, but so far everyone that's died, they've gone to Nyx's grove, regardless of their, I suppose, affiliation with like a vampire or whatever.
Maybe
so is that the standard heaven, is what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, well maybe that's like the gateway. Or like the other world is the gateway, and then it's like, if you want a peace, you can continue on to the grove. If not, stay here and they'll find something for you to do.
Because, I don't know, it just feels like then the rest of the, like, religion in this world seems a bit redundant then, if I suppose, or as a reader, it would come across that way.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even though Linda has
I think I think it's just bad writing.
Bad writing.
Yeah.
You don't want to upset nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're just trying to fit lots and lots of things in.
Right.
And it's not coming across succinctly.
Right. Because I was just going to say, like, Linda being married to a faith, people of the faith person, and whatever heaven situation they believe in, surely I thought she would, even though she's not with him anymore, I feel like she would still believe in that faith.
Maybe, but I think she only started believing in that faith when she got to him.
Right.
So maybe she always had her, like, Cherokee ancestry faith.
Oh, for sure. And with that, like, wouldn't she just end up in, like, a Cherokee variation of... Or maybe, as Sister Mary said, like, Nyx is, like, the personification of many different things, but ultimately they all end up to her.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love answering my own question.
Nice, well done.
Well, with your help, Kenzie, thank you.
No worries.
But how ironic that John's name is like John Hefner, and we're talking about balls, about being lined up.
Yeah.
Or heifer,
Yeah.
sorry. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
Ooh.
But yeah, and Linda dies just getting her neck sliced. She was
Yeah.
at Grandma's house, and Grandma was conveniently away for a day.
Oh, yes.
One day.
Yeah.
And Neferet shows up naked.
Again.
Yep. It's like, if I had a dollar for how many times
It reminds me of, like, I don't know if you've seen this, and it's, like, very old school Simpsons, but it's, like, when Mr. Burns, I don't know, he's, like, in the radiation or whatever, and he's, like, coming out of the forest, and he's, like, I come in peace, or something, like,
yes, I know what
you know what I'm talking about?
I was scared of that episode growing up.
I know. I'm going to
me.
save it, because we can post it in the stories.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, like, that's just what I imagine.
But yeah, Grandma's not dying today. Grandma's the only one that can cheat death, it seems. But yeah, sorry, back to Heath real quick. Yeah, he's in the grove, and Nyx is having a serious talk with him. Because he's just playing football, or American football, in the grove.
He's chilling, yeah.
He's waiting for Zoey.
Yeah, she's never come back. But, so, Nyx says that he can be the lost soul in the vessel. Yeah, because he can choose that over being reborn as something else in the real world or staying in the other world. Yeah. And if he goes and beats the lost vessel, then he can help Zoey, and we all know that he always wants to help Zoey.
Yeah.
So, but, like, he's the lost soul in Oryx?
Yes.
So,
because the sacrifice with Linda wasn't as pure as someone who, as Grandma would have been. There is, like,
so Nyx can infiltrate them a little bit.
Yes, there's a weakness that Nyx was able to infiltrate, and then with that, she's going to use Heath as that sort of distraction, because we know how stupidly chaotic he can be, almost.
So that means that Oryx will probably not want to hurt Zoey.
Exactly, or at least there's a chance for that happening. There's a higher chance of that not happening.
Yeah.
Yes, but then Heath will not know, like, who he is as a person, who, like, really Zoey is, but he knows that about, like,
their
like
souls
love.
will know each other.
The soul and love, yes, for sure. How many soulmates does Zoey have? Really?
Plenty.
Too many. Oh, speaking of, like, off track, but her and Eric kind of make up. They're buds now, although they're bonding over the fact Neferet's a bitch, which is fair.
So
like, they're cool.
What's his name? See, there's too many boyfriends. I'm getting confused. Eric gets a little bit of, like, a character, something happening in the next one, so...
Oh, yay?
A little bit of like, what?
Is he the... Goodbye, sweet prince? Oh.
No.
I'm gonna have to wait for that to happen, if it ever happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, Heath seems like a very honourable guy. Like, yeah, he'll do anything for Zoe, as we've seen. Like, he went to
but
the
it's like,
fucking
you've already
Vampire High
died.
Council.
Like, if I was even, I'd be like, I think I'll just pass on into the other world, please. Or like,
Yeah.
can I be reincarnated, please?
Yeah, although, because their souls are always going to meet, he would have to reincarnate when Zoe
true.
inevitably dies. So he still has to wait for her. But
Yeah.
yeah, nah. Yeah, a chance for you to, meet again, or to, like, just save her in this moment.
Yeah.
But again, I guess at the overarching end of the day, this is all, like, a part of Nyx's plan to save the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's meant to happen.
We are meant to traumatize teenagers.
Of course. Especially humans who are not really made to be of this world or of this environment. Heath agrees to that. One of the last couple of chapters is like Neferet meets Aurochs. What was it?
Mm-hmm. Aurochs, yeah.
Aurochs, that she named him as. Apparently it's like a symbolism of like an old bull or whatever.
Yeah.
An ancient bull. So it's him. And it's described as having long, thick, blonde hair. And I don't really remember like Heath's description that well, but does that look like him in a way? Because of it? No? Okay, I don't remember.
I think I always thought Heath was like short brown, like very classic American jock.
I thought he was blonde.
I'm probably, because I make things up in my own head. Oh, he's blonde. I'm an idiot. Oh, yeah, he kind of looks like... Yeah, okay.
I feel like that could be, like, the compensation of the weakness as well. But, like, not that Neferet really
Yeah,
has
so then,
spent...
Aurochs looks similar to Heath.
Yeah, I feel like... Because, like, Neferet wouldn't know what Heath looks like that much. And she didn't seem to, like, recognise him. Unless she was just relishing in the fact that, you know, she has this vessel now.
Yeah.
Which sounds OP. But then Kelowna sounded OP and he's done fuck all.
Yeah, true.
Also, the Raven Mockers are back as well, so that's fun. We've kind of talked about the fight more from the Rephaim standpoint.
Yeah.
But Stevie Rae really does take charge in that. Oh yeah, it is all revealed that her and Rephaim are imprinted together and everyone's shocked.
Oh yeah, fun.
But like, love conquers all. It's giving The Lion King 2, you know, Kobe and Kiara fighting for each other.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said that before last episode.
You did,
or
yeah.
It is so them. Enemies to lovers. We love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
And Dragon. Fucking Dragon.
Dragon. Oh, he's turning to the dark side, isn't he? I'm worried for our boy.
He, like, lashes out at Zoe because he's all like, you're too young, blah, blah, blah.
Lashes out. But, like, he has a point. Like, what does she know about loss?
Yeah. Yes. And then, so because Neferet and Dragon won't accept Rephaim,
yeah.
the teenagers, Zoe and her friends, Aphrodite, everyone, decide to leave the House of Night and start their own House of Night in the tunnels.
Well, they don't consider it their home now, but they will attend classes and such. I think that's what's been established. But yeah. Which I don't know if it'll do them any favors. It just seems like they're in the wrong because they're not standing their ground. But like, if no one believes you or believes in what you're trying to say, like, I'd fuck off as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've gone back to the depot and the tunnels to kind of start a House of Night. Pretty much just for them, I guess. I have a feeling Lenobia might have to. She's gonna have to play a double agent. I feel. Yeah. She's on our side.
She'll get a big role.
Yeah, for sure. And Dragon, like, he's hit or miss right now. He has a novella, so it must be important if he has a novella.
His novella is, like, next after this book.
Oh,
that's
like,
when,
in the
like,
timeline.
chronologically, yeah.
Oh. Ooh. So it's gonna be 50-50.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then after the next book is Lenobia's.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad they're getting, like, bigger moments.
Yeah. Early on, sorry, I just want to touch on, it was established as well that Kelowna can sort of, like, infiltrate, Stark's
soul.
Mind/body, soul, because of the little, like, kernel of immortality he gave him. So there's a moment. Do you want to talk about the moment, or do you want me to talk about the moment?
You can talk about the moment. It's a gross moment.
Yeah, so Zoe and Stark,
technically it happened twice, but like towards the end of the book was the worst moment.
Yeah. They're like getting sexy, getting saucy, and they're getting ready to have sex, and Stark becomes aggressive.
Rough.
Rough, which is not like him. And yeah, Zoe's like trying to stop him, and then he bites her, and then she like eventually stops him. And yeah, it's implied that it was Kelowna, not Stark,
Yes,
who took over.
It heavily implied that, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, in the beginning, so I would say they had, like, kind of 3 sexy scenes. One in the beginning, one towards the middle, and then one at the end.
Yeah.
And in the middle was when we learnt that Kelowna could actually do that. Because, yeah, he was trying to contact Zoey through, like, the dream realm.
Yeah.
But he managed to, infiltrate Stark's body. And then that's when he's, like, was really shocked and surprised in that moment that he was able to do that.
Yeah.
And then in that middle sexy time moment, he kind of relished in it, but then obviously left. Because it's like, wow, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then now, like, yeah, he kind of fully embraced taking over Stark in that moment. Was a bit rough, etc., etc.
Yeah, and then I don't know why he would do that, because, I mean, I feel like ultimately, yeah, he's trying to get Zoey on his side. So it's like, why would you want to scare her?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he in his mind, it's probably him trying to reconnect with Aya.
Yeah.
And it's through sex in a very weird, gross way. Because, yeah, no one consented to Kelowna infiltrating Stark's body. Yeah, very dubious. But yeah, we learned, so beware the next few books, I guess, for that happening.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the end of the day, it just seems like he just wants sexual gratification from Zoey. Or / Aya.
From Aya. And I think, he can't differentiate between Aya and Zoey. Because it's like, yeah, maybe like a fragment of Aya's soul is in Zoey, but Zoey is her own person.
Yeah, she is like 17. Back the fuck
17.
off.
Yeah.
And that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Far out. But yeah, I think... Go on, sorry.
So, I was just going to say, but then and Zoey has a dream about her mother dying.
Yes, and that's how she kind of found out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was... I don't know, was that kind of bittersweet, would you say? Because we haven't seen their relationship.
Yeah, because she hasn't had a relationship with her, and it's like, I guess, you like, it sucks that she died, but it's like, yeah, you were never planning on having a relationship with each other.
And now it's just like an extra plot device for... Not that she knows how Linda died, she just knows that she is dead. But is it now, yeah, further plot device? It's like, oh, because Linda talked really sweetly about Zoey, and Zoey gets the impression that, you know, oh, her mum really loved her, which is very sweet. But now, yeah, is this now the plot device where she has to rise up again?
Yeah.
She should have just stayed on that island for 2 weeks, man.
Yeah. Take your vacay.
Take your vacay time. Unlimited PTO. I think we've covered pretty much every major event.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of out of order.
But because, yeah, like, not a lot... It's one of those things where, like, yeah, not a lot happens, but also, like, not a lot to progress. Not a lot to progress the plot, but a lot within the plot of the book.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just different situations that will motivate characters to then take action following what's happening.
Yeah, for sure. Because, yeah, no one's made any moves against Neferet, and Neferet and Kelowna haven't really made any moves against... Yeah, Zoey yet, but yeah, there's all these little things that are pushing characters, motivations and intentions. But yeah, I'm glad you're kind of, like, rejuvenated in the book now, which is good. Because we're heading towards the final, like, quarter of the series. Like, we're almost done. I can't wait to be done. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry that I ever suggested this series.
But no, it's been good, because, like, I've been averaging reading 2 books a week.
That's good. Well, they are small books.
They are small, but
good job.
Yeah, but there are other books that I'm so excited to get stuck into.
Yeah, same.
So it's like, gotta push through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it, I would say. Yeah. Well done, us. Go us.
Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed it. Tune in next week for...
We're breaking it up again, because this will be our last, like, third breakup for the series.
Yeah. So it starts with us.
Yeah, because that's just come out. By the time this is recorded, it came out this week, I think.
Yeah, it did.
So, we got...
Yeah, it came out on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, whatever. It's just for shits and gigs. It's the 23rd of October, the day of this recording. So, by the time It Starts With Us comes up, it should be about a month since it's come out, so it's free time to talk about it and all that type of stuff, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, yeah, stick around to hear that if you are a Coho fan. We'll have a lot to say about, like, that the book
I have
and just
a
coho
lot to
in
say.
general. So be prepared.
Yeah.
Keep an ear out for next week. Check out our social medias, Letterboxd Book Club on Instagram.
We have a Linktree now.
Yeah, which, you know, you find us in all the places properly.
Yeah, so if you find us in one place, you will literally find us in all the places if you click
Yes.
on the link in the bio.
For sure. Link in the bio. That's all you've ever wanted to say.
Link in the bio!
Alrighty, yeah. And you can find that link on primarily Instagram, YouTube. TikTok isn't allowing us to do it yet. I don't fucking know why. But
I think because
anyway,
we're not verified.
perhaps, or we don't exceed a certain amount of followers. So please follow us.
Yeah.
Please. But yeah, catch you next week for It Starts With Us. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.